So our next poet up tonight is Beth Jenkins. Beth is a skilled writer and writes all day long in her day job, but it's government prose. When she read the course description for The Poet Within, she thought, that's it, and signed right up to expand her writing skills into something emotionally and spiritually nourishing. Now the volunteer committees and housework have to flow around her poetry commitment. As subject matter for her creative writing, Beth pauses for reflection on the old standbys, the meaning of life and beauty of nature. But she also draws on her love of good food and dedication to habitat conservation. Here's Beth.
I joined the class at the second evening when we were writing the Carpe Diem, and I was in a rather contemplative mood. So it's not exactly seize the moment, it's more be in the moment. It was inspired by a snowy day in April that would have been a fine and wonderful day in the first part of March. A fine day for music and tea and a fireside book. Time to breathe, sip steaming beverage from fragile porcelain bowl. A fine day for musing, curled in a tranquil nook. Whether flake or droplet, April precipitation replenishes my freeze-dried soul. And the next one is actually the last one we wrote in the sequence. It's the free verse. It was inspired by some notes I'd written in my journal about how fleeting the sunrise colors were. It's called Fleeting Rosy Promise. Steam froth the milk, pour thick black brew as fleeting rosy promise fades. Pause to savor aroma and moment while gazing at pale eastern sky. Cloud-framed sun and bold caffeine help me greet another city morning. And the persona poem was inspired, I got an image in my mind as we were talking about writing from another point of view. And I was originally going to write from the point of view of my little great niece, who was 2 at the time that I took a photograph of her crouching down to look at a lady slipper. But the poem wound up being written from the lady slipper's perspective. Her yellow boots match my petals. They're awfully near. One step could squash me flat. Her tiny hands reach out to me. Look with your eyes, a voice booms above us. Her stubby stalks bend near the ground, and little hands stay still while blue eyes gaze. My slipper bloom nods in the wind. Smiling child waves goodbye. I have been loved. And the Italian sonnet was a challenge because it's very structured in its form and demanding in its rhyme scheme. But that very challenge became part of the subject matter for the poem itself. It's titled Form and Substance. Perhaps with pattern, rhythm, rhyme scheme, this poem, in whatever form or tone, will corral stray thoughts, though structure alone won't contain wild energy to just one theme. But through this effort, today's pressured steam cools down, and though tomorrow's deadlines loom, like thunderclouds for now from source unknown, calm, gentle focus brings reprieve. Process, more than product, is the reason my pencil pushes thoughts onto the page. Rhythm soothe, and strangely, structure frees one from logic, facts and figures, counsel sage. For every thought and feeling, there's a season, a time to conform, a time to uncage. And the ode is an ode to my late husband and to the Wagner Natural Area. And I think I can get through it. It's an ode to a gentle man who championed a Finn. We walked the trail last week, your sons and I, the one you helped to build and we maintain. You'd curse when rushing tires from the highway drown birdsong and the ponds are dry again. But hope we have and determination to fend off threats nearby and from upstream. Your bequest becomes sacred duty. Protect this land and all that it means to those who love its beauty and its magic. For fairies dance by moonlight on the moss. 4,000-year-old peat, another reason to keep this piece of land from being lost. Your scientific mind and poet's heart, your gifts that you shared with us to share, beyond bounds of family and friendship, commitment and legacy left in our care.
Thank you, Beth.